Hello, everybody. My name is David Katzenmeyer, and I'm with the R.I.S.E program. And today we are here interviewing Lillian Parker of OrthoCarolina. How are you doing today, Lillian?
Hey, David, I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Um, yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to give you a little bit of background about who I am and how my and your paths have crossed. So I'm originally from Montgomery, Alabama, and I went to school at Auburn University studying public relations. Through some very interesting twists and turns, after I graduated from college, I started working with a full service marketing agency out of Auburn. And that is really where I found my passion for strategic planning, just some bigger things that branched out of media relations. So after about 3.5 years in that role, I moved to Charlotte. I actually didn't know anyone in the city before I moved here. And I got a job with an arts nonprofit. So I moved to a new city, into a new field, and kind of fell in love with the community here. And earlier this year, actually just a couple of weeks before pandemic pandemonium hit, I started my current role as content marketing specialist with OrthoCarolina. So in that role, I do a lot of writing, some long form articles, helping to implement partnership agreements and fun ideas, videos, all kinds of graphics that we put together. And I'd say the big sort of thing of how I got into this role is that I love to write. So my passion for writing has really been the common thread that got me to where I am.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What was it like kind of moving to Charlotte on your own, nobody here, kind of like how did like your skills that you have learned throughout your life kind of set you up in Charlotte and kind of give you the opportunities you have now?
That is an excellent question. Um, and I will give huge credit to my background in communications work for helping me settle in a new city. A huge part of what we all do kind of working in communications is connecting with people, asking questions, being willing to try new things and put yourself out there. So moving to a new city, part of my first role, I actually worked with the Arts and Science Council, and part of my role there was to get to know people, to get to know artists, to get to know neighborhoods and other nonprofits that we were in partnership with. And I had to, be willing to put myself out there. And I definitely credit that with helping me establish just an amazing network and falling in love with the city. And that's something I love about working with OrthoCarolina as well, as we get to support programs like R.I.S.E and also just really get to know the people who we serve. And that's a lot of fun for me. And, if I'm doing work to try and educate you or entertain you, I want to know what you like and what you think is interesting.
It's great. So I know that some of the kids who are in the R.I.S.E program and some kids all across Charlotte, North Carolina are kind of interested in the marketing field and just things surrounding media broadcasting marketing. And so do you have any tips or advice for them or for anybody watching this who is kind of either in high school or middle school is trying to like get their foot in the door?
Oh, yes. So it's like I have so much advice. I would say a big thing for me, attending a large school in the South in SEC country, our liberal arts and marketing PR programs are fairly small, small but mighty. But I think in these kinds of fields, you really learn by doing. You get a good framework in the classroom. You meet a lot of folks who are creative thinkers and problem solvers. But one of my main pieces of advice for anyone who's looking to get into this field is roll your sleeves up and get your hands dirty. You can read books till the cows come home, but until you really get out there and meet people and actually lend a hand at doing the work, there's only so much that clicks. And
Hmm.
I remember starting my role with an agency and realizing when I went in on the first day, I don't know if I understand what I do. I don't know if I
Yeah.
understand what this actually looks like in terms of a career. And within, a month, it's like, boom, I've got it. So I highly recommend getting on board if you've got friends or family members who, are trying to launch a project, they have a business. If you've got a buddy in a band, hop on board with them, see how you can help get folks to tune in and watch them play. Help your neighbor lift up his lawn mowing business. It's just a lot of fun to really tackle that challenge of, I want people to know about what you do. How do we make it happen? Another piece of advice I have is to ask questions. I am very much a curious person by nature, which I think is part of why I love the work that I do. But don't be afraid to ask questions. The more information you have, the better decisions you can make. And sometimes a fantastic idea comes out of a discussion that came from a question you asked. So never be afraid of not knowing something. It's okay to ask for more information and push for details.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I mean, just getting to know you a little bit before the before our interview, before our call, it was just asking questions, kind of getting to know more on the marketing side of things. And I mean, I'm definitely enlightened more on kind of how the process works and how everything works. I know you mentioned
Awesome.
before that OrthoCarolina is kind of like, it was like one of the reasons you love them is because you can get involved in programs like the R.I.S.E program.
Mhm.
So what is like specifically your interest and kind of like determination to help sponsor small programs like us?
Absolutely. Like I mentioned before, I went to a college where the program I was in um, just wasn't as prominent as things like engineering and architecture, which, not a numbers person. There's a reason that I work with words for a living. Um, but I also think the high school that I went to, we were very focused on academic performance. So just really excelling at standardized testing and kind of being the top tier of intelligence, let's just be smart. And I think it is so important for young people to have the opportunity to be creative. I think it's so important to be able to shine a light that, hey, you don't have to be an engineer or an orthopedic surgeon, to
Yeah.
have a viable career, to love the work that you do, and most importantly, to do important work. Um, I'm giving full credit to the folks who, build our roads, the people who manage our bank accounts, but it takes a special person to connect with others. And I think it is a worthy field to go into, and one that I didn't have a ton of guidance on really until I got into college. So, personally, that's something that's important to me, is to help kids, who at my age, I didn't really have anyone to show me all of the potential. And also just, it's so important, I think, just to support young people wanting to grow.
Definitely.
We're proud supporters of NAS and all of their efforts around sports. But beyond that, beyond, the field or the court, beyond the classroom, I think it's important to invest in young people being able to actualize what they're interested in. And if you're interested in, hey, I think I want to host a radio show, let's make it happen.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I fall. I think it's really incredible to see what folks your age can do. It kind of blows me away a little bit. And it's even this conversation is so it's an honor to be a part of, and to be able to meet you and, help you learn those skills while I'm learning my skills too.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for all the wise information and sitting down and talking with me. This has been, it's been a great conversation and kind of great to hear about the insides of what you do in OrthoCarolina.
Absolutely, David, and best of luck in the rest of school and beyond.
Well, thank you very much. Have a
All
great
right,
day.
you too. Thanks.
Thank you.